Alright, we're back. Hopefully we're live again. I'm not losing literally every single one of my frames. Like, literally every single one of my frames. It was like 99.9%. See me over level now? Okay, cool. We're up to date. What I did just now, if you missed it, sorry about that. I used this potion here to fly over the lava lake, because I don't have enough levitation juice to get over there in one go. So I solidified some lava halfway through to like use like a platform to like stand on to get it back. I grabbed this spell out of an orb there. And I would have been attacked by a super boss, except I used Invisibilium to sneak out. And honestly, that's not super useful, because the spell isn't very great. But grabbing that unlocked the spell permanently for future runs. And more importantly, on future runs, if I go back and I go through the same process, it'll have a health up instead of an unlockable spell. There are two wands here that could potentially be very good. I already have it all unlocked? No, I do not. This is a completely fresh save since migrating PCs for some reason broke all of my saves, including my cloud saves. So I just said screw it and I completely reset my progression. Steam Cloud just broke. Yeah, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense, but that is actually what happened. My health is concerningly low. I kind of took a lot of hits on my way in. I'm not confident fighting a fire mage with this little health. Oops. Well. Alright, well. Unfortunately, because I had to restart stream, Twitch is like, oh, you need ads again. Which I can't really do anything about. So let's take a 5-minute break, like recenter ourselves, get the ads out of the way. Sorry about that. turn. Sorry about that. I also inhaled to start talking, and then, just then, something went down the wrong pipe. Anyway, fresh run, fresh start. We'll go for like an hour and then call it. That's an upgrade heart. Upgrade hearts are never something to turn your nose up. Oh shit! Upgrade hearts are never something to turn your nose up at. Especially this early in the game when there's such substantial improvements. Ow. Finding two of them back to back like that in the first zone is kind of insane. The flask that I have is filled with mud, which, while capable of giving me a water stain, is not very good at it. So I'm literally going to dump it out. I think I picked up some steam there. I'm going to dump it out. It's full of ground. How did that happen? Anyway. I'm gonna try and pick up some water. It's a little bit jagged, but we're making it work. That's concentrated mana. It'd be kind of nice to get my hands on that. My grubby little foxy paws. Concentrated mana dramatically increases my mana recovery speed, which is not currently relevant, but could very easily become relevant. And it melts through metal like it's acid. There's a lot of stuff in this game that's like conditionally acidic, now that I think about it. Like more than you would expect. Oh hey, actual acid, just straight up. I don't want to go too far to the left because then I enter the what's the word I'm looking for? Then I enter the dangerous part of the mine. My money is over 400, which is the limit I try to go, or the bare minimum I try to go for before leaving the mines. My health is a little concerningly low, but I could take another hit, so I'm gonna keep going until that happens. You kind of have to be a little bold in this game. That mentality is paying off. It's an extra 200 gold. This is an item I can tell because of the red sparkles. That's worm pheromone. I don't want worm pheromone, but I will take this pool of water. I still have no idea how ground got in there. When you spray from a flask, it sprays an equal mixture of everything inside of it. So I was able to, like, get rid of the contaminants by just spritzing a little bit and then topping it off with water. Except for the ground for some reason. I still don't know how that's in there. Get my hands on this. I cannot go for the orb again. I could, but I'll spawn the super boss, and I don't have the means to deal with him right now. There are ways to avoid him, there are even ways to kill him, even this early. There's one fish because I found one orb. Luminous Drill, very good find this early. Greed is nice because double money, just always very good. Gas Fire is interesting because it's one of the only ways to protect yourself from freezing vapor, mostly by turning it into fire. This is really valuable, like, mid-term, but early on, Greed is going to put in so much work. Gigadisc is actually one of the ways to kill the super boss, but it's something that I'm not entirely confident doing. And then I died. Yeah, I know, right? Did not find any new wands. Kinda sucks. Normally I wouldn't do this, because I'm gonna run out of mana so fast, but with the concentrated mana, I can get away with it a little bit better. Another cool thing about concentrated mana is that it's basically impossible to run out of, because in a similar vein to water being able to purify any amount of toxin, concentrated mana turns water into concentrated mana. Like, once you find any amount, it is borderline impossible to run out. Also, these mosquitoes have lava for blood for some reason. If I right-click it, I'll take a swig, which is a little more convenient than dousing myself with it. It consumes 10% of the flask. But that's fine, because I can replenish it really, really easily. When you ordered your lightsaber on Wish.com, large firebolts, we can use those. It's a shuffle wand that every now and then will cast things in a star pattern around me, so it's a little bit dangerous to use without a little bit of modification. The wand chassis here is pretty awesome. The spells on it are, like, low tier. They don't really do anything that I'm excited by. I will happily take airdrop money. Let's go. It's a Something fun that I might do if I die again is I might turn on Twitch chat integration, which will make a little pop-up appear down here periodically. Yeah, the reason I don't have it on is that I actually want to make progress. But if I do turn that on, it'll make a little pop-up appear down here with like 4 options for things that could happen. And in Twitch chat, you can type in numbers to vote on which effect you want to see go off. So that could be fun. There's a flask there filled with lava. Not super into that. My money's looking really good. That greed is putting in work. Take those off. This is now a semi-decent rocket launcher wand. I bought that entire wand because I wanted the single teleport bolt. Ooh, Tinker Everywhere. Spectacular. So, Tinker Everywhere and Teleport Bolt kind of serve similar purposes at this stage, because I was going to use that to get out of the Holy Mountain so I could keep using it for tinkering. But now that's a non-factor. This container is somewhat difficult to cut into normally, but Luminous Drill gets the job done very efficiently. That right there is the power of Tinker Everywhere. I can just, like, grab things and then leave the wands behind without having to, like, logistically manage everything. Digging is a little bit slow. Hold on. That's better. Okay, this is a find. Lightning Bolt is a very powerful spell in a can. I say spell in a can because I don't have to modify it, it just works out of the box. It's very prone to self-harm. But the power it offers is exceptional for this stage. And self-preservation has never been one of my selling points. Right, I was gonna say, in case you were curious, the reason why adding this to this made it faster is because this grabs the next 2 spells in sequence and casts them, but because there's something there, it grabs the drill a second time. And the drill has, like, negative speed modifiers on it, which is a good thing. So it applies those modifiers twice because this spell has effectively been copied. It also adds a bit of spread, which actually helps with coverage, because you might have seen me struggling to, like, eliminate individual pixels here and there. little bit of chaos makes it much more likely that you actually hit those pixels. An enemy just stole the bond that was in there, but by the looks of it, it just had rocks on it. Yeah, it just had rocks on it. The stats aren't bad, but the capacity is bad. Ow. I can tank one more hit. I should probably go downwards, because there's a very high chance that I take that hit on my attempt to get into the mountain. Magic missiles, straight upgrade over firebolts in my opinion. I can take one more sniper round or one more grenade. I can no longer take one more sniper round or grenade. I have to leave. Big open spaces like this are concerning, because it's very easy for things to just come off screen and hit you. These are glitter bombs, and the recharge time on this wand is really, really bad. Oh, hello. We're doing really well, actually, right now. This is a really nice spell to find. It just speeds up your wand. I don't think it's worth 800 gold, though. These perks are all bad. These perks are all good. I'm gonna go with this one, Unlimited Spells. So, you see how some spells have, like, limited charges? No, they don't. I would call that an A tier perk. It's not like... It's not S tier. But like, it's a very high A tier. And I don't need a huge amount of nuance, because I have Tinker Everywhere. Incidentally, Tinker Everywhere I would also call like a high A tier perk. Once upon a time I thought of these both as S tier perks, but like as I've gotten better at the game, I see them less as like, whoops. I see them less as absolute necessities and more as like conveniences. Because you can continue tinkering with wands by just retaining access to a holy mountain. And you can make spammable spells without charges equivalent in utility and power to spells with charge limits. So, nice to have not irreplaceable effects. Spells that I would still call S tier would be like Explosion Immunity. Or when I say spell, I mean perk. A perk I would still call S tier is Explosion Immunity. Or like Melee Immunity. Sadly, there's no projectile immunity, but it'd be a little overpowered if there was. This is going to be a wand that's shuffle with huge capacity. Amazing stats, except for the fact that it's shuffle. Explosion immunity sounds like a must-have for me. It kind of is. Like, like this lightning bolt that I'm shooting around, if I'm not careful with it, it will kill me. Because the bolt is actually considered explosive rather than electric. Alright, this is nice. Especially with concentrated mana. Yeah, we got our hands on a lightsaber. Love to see it. It's a conditional lightsaber, but it's still a lightsaber. Speaking of mana, though, I'm down to about a quarter capacity, so I'm gonna go refill that. Sorry, fish. I could have chosen the one that didn't already have water in it. We'll mix it up. I will also drink a bunch of it up until I'm basically fully satiated. So I've got a few minutes of this effect now. Nice little perk. And I'm going to use that by breaking my way into a secret room. Normally this one would have some spread on it because— whoops. Did not see them. Normally this one would have a bit of spread on it, except it's got always cast concentrate spell, which is a pretty beefy spread reduction modifier. I need to leave. That propane tank is going to explode. Homing. Very nice modifier. I'll also take these arrows. The one chassis itself is also pretty good. Ow. So, as previously mentioned, lightning bolt is dangerous. I'm gonna keep this one alive, because they can actually fix this. That's a turret that is fixed facing one direction. Like, once you verify what that direction is, you can get behind it with no risk whatsoever. Ow. Oh dear lord. This has turned into a difficult situation. Okay, I'm gonna do a little cheese. I'm gonna break into that secret room. I'm going to hope very desperately that it has a Circle of Vigor in it. I would be hoping that anyway. The spell that I'm hoping to get from this room is always Circle of Vigor. But like, given that I have exactly one hit point, I am extra hoping that it's going to be Circle of Vigor. Incidentally, there's a puzzle that you can do that is like the correct way to get into this room, but I don't currently have the means to... I don't actually currently have the means to access that puzzle. Or rather, I can access it but not solve it. It's right around here that I question if I'm at the right Y level. Nope, never mind. I'm good. It's just far enough in that you start to doubt yourself. Heavy shot, very good. Makes your spell really slow, but do a ton more damage. But lightning bolt travels the OD or does not travel a fixed distance. That would have been a humiliating death. I'm just gonna leave that off for now. Directional shield, very good. I'm actually gonna put that on this one. I don't know how much damage or how much healing this does. Okay, I'm gonna pass through here, and this is actually gonna take me back to the room that the puzzle is in. And not only does this get me back to Hisi base really quickly, it gets me back to Hisi base over top of a shop. That can also have some nice stuff in. Oh my god. God tier shop, let's go. Actual god tier shop. That was such a long shot, and it worked perfectly. Anyways. I don't think you comprehend how absurdly rare this spell is. Give ourselves just a little bit of a zippy zap. I can be a little cavalier again now that I'm back at full health. I don't want to hold out my lightning wand while I'm in any kind of liquid, because it will actually conduct and zap me and stun me and kill me. Let's see, freeze charge is nice to have, but I don't want to spend like a full third of my money on it. This wand is pretty nice, but not nice enough. That's basically the sentiment I got from all of those, is pretty nice, not nice enough. Guess what I just found that's pretty nice? Explosion immunity. Alright, I can work with this. So after Hisi base is the jungle. I don't have fire immunity, but I do have explosion immunity. So I can work with this. I'm gonna do the same thing with my mana. Yeah, I would have just hurt myself there, but I blocked it. Not as much because my tummy was already partially full, but it works. Okay, there is not a super boss, but an optional boss that I'm going to try and fight in here. The ideal perk for dealing with it is melee immunity. But as long as I have good movement, I should be alright. Shield putting in work. The stats on this wand are not bad at all. I will definitely keep that. Not fire immune. Instantly, that guy is immune to explosions. Oh, ran out of levitation juice. I tend not to think about it since I tend to move in efficient ways, and I rarely run out, but I sometimes do. That's the same non-hostile enemy from earlier. Not gonna kill it. So the cool thing about this enemy is that it heals other enemies, and you can stand in the way of the shots to subvert them for yourself, which is why I don't want to kill this enemy. That's a spider embedded in the wall. Which I could dig out, but why would I? Here's the structure that I'm looking for. I can tell because of this really smooth, dense rock layer. Meet the Dragon Cave. We're just gonna carve our way in here. We're gonna find the dragon egg. We are going to dig into the dragon egg. I nearly just died twice. If this thing hits me with its mouth, I'm dead instantly. I don't like it when it's off camera because it picks up speed when it's going through Earth. Lightsaber puts in work, though. Always drops a really good wand. Yeah, it did just kind of leave. Alright. All things considered, we're doing pretty well for ourselves. This one might actually be good enough to be a lightsaber without concentrated mana cell. Not quite, but I do like the jitter. Might actually because of the... That might actually be because of these quadruple spells. Yeah, they weren't helping. Whoops. That could have gone poorly. Wand itself is not spectacular. None of these spells are really worth losing sleep over. I don't like having my health below half because you can so easily lose so much of it. At this stage, a 1 with 2 capacity is just unacceptable no matter how good the stats are. Right, I got Circle of Vigor. Oh well. I would be excited about these healing bolts, except I got Circle of Vigor. Oh shoot, melee immunity. That would have been really useful when fighting the dragon. So that bite that would have instantly killed me would do nothing with this perk. Literally the damage goes from like 2,000 to 0. That's a lightning mage. You'd think that he'd be immune to lightning, but he's not. Energy shield putting in work. That could have gone better. Greed? Yes. Ow, my bones. Plasma emitters are a threat in the vault. You gotta keep an eye out for those. Honestly, my damage is kind of low for this stage. Can I do something about that? Not really. As long as I've got like a water stain, I can't catch fire. Standing in fire will rapidly erode that water stain, but that's kind of like why I dance around. That said... let's just top off. Having access to Circle of Vigor is so big. Explosion immunity putting in work. Getting a little chaotic for my tastes. I don't like that propane tag. Wait, I'm explosion immune. I don't care about that propane tag. The stats on this wand are middle of the road. The stats on this wand are bad. The main thing that I'm looking at is the recharge time. Everything else you can kind of like work around. The recharge time is really, really hard to bring in line. It's doable, it's just... it's better to get a wand without a heavy recharge time. Get a 001. That is actually doable. And if you're going for like a super long-term run, you will actually want to load yourself down with 001s. Incidentally, there's more than one portal to every holy mountain. There's like a line of them all across the bottom of a given zone. So it's pretty safe to explore. It's never like too difficult to find one. Melee immunity putting in work. basically nullifies the threats represented by these enemies that I'm melee immune. That mage, if I strike him, he'll swap my position with him. I think he just got himself blown up. Ow, my bones. Actually, no, that was very much my skin burned off by acid. Almost put myself in the line of fire of that turret. I've gotten really lucky with health pickups. Oh no. Without explosion immunity, I'm dead. Like, that would have been the end of my run right there. Nothing on that one that I don't already have. Part of why I'm so bold is that I have these immunities. And I'm out of water, I forgot about that. Honestly, don't need this because I have Circle of Vigor. Ground Potion is a silly phrase, it really is. All-Seeing Eye is nice, it removes all fog of war, which by itself is kind of mid, but there's also certain zones that are just perpetually black that you cannot at all see in, unless you have a source of light or All-Seeing Eye. That said, my damage is really low for this stage. Like, I should have replaced Lightning Bolt circa the jungle, but I just haven't been finding damage spells. But it's a poor craftswoman that blames her tools. That said, I never claimed to be a good craftswoman. Craftsfox? Whatever you want to call it. These mosquitoes are nothing with melee immunity. Pretty good stats. Giant magic missile with unlimited spells is pretty nice. Oh. That omnidirectional barrier is nice. I think I'll actually pick that up. That was not my teleport one. Whoops. Shields are really, really valuable in this game. What I would love to encounter right about now is Spark Bolt with Trigger. I call these enemies curse ticks. They are immune to damage. They are tied to a crystal like this. So you have to find and destroy that crystal to actually meaningfully deal with them. Those face-looking things are spell turrets. That enemy that looks like some kind of demon is a polymorpher. His projectiles, if they hit me, will turn me into a random thing. The problem with being a random thing is that not only do I not have access to my wands, I don't have access to my perks while I'm something that is not me. Lots of bloody healing. Stats are decent, but it's a shuffle wand, so it's worthless. I should patch myself up with Circle of Vigor once I get a moment of ease. One of the really nice things about Circle of Vigor compared to other healing spells is that it's percentage-based healing, where everything else just heals a static amount. So like, especially when your health starts getting really high, Circle of Vigor is like the only spell that heals you in like a reasonable time frame. Chest, let's see what's in there. Money. Never mad about money. Yeah, like Lightning Bolt isn't one-shotting things anymore, so you can kind of tell that it's like no longer the spell that I should be using. That person is a polymorph mage. If he hits me, he'll turn me into a sheep and I'm basically instantly dead. Like that. Unfortunate. Can I get... Yeah, I got Noited, basically. Here we are. Install streaming integration mods. What options have I got? Okay, I'll have to dig more into that later. Let's just go with like the default things for now. Make sure that's actually turned on. New game. You can vote on effects. would say please be kind, but honestly, I can handle it. Please be kind, please be kind. Torch can set things on fire and also counts as a light source in dark areas like the ones that I mentioned earlier. Kind of intimidating to swim through oil like that, but it's doable. Imagine diving headfirst into oil IRL. A bit of a duck moment for sure. Oh no, now I'm tripping. Luckily it's not that bad. It's mostly just like a visual distortion. It's called working on an oil rig. Fair. Invisibilium. I can grab the orb from the right of the lava lake now. Ow. I'm always unprepared for how fast that comes at me. I'm so used to like the normal dynamite throws, which are like a half to a third of that speed. Like that. They also don't explode on impact. That chest was full of pixels of gold rather than nuggets of gold. The thing about gold pixels is that they never expire. We're doing fairly well for ourselves, all things considered. Chaotic polymorphine, I want to be nowhere near that. Like, not even the same zip code if I can help it. I'll wait until my levitation's about halfway depleted, then refill it. All projectiles eat up ground. Enemies near you gain fields that deal damage. A huge body of lava is summoned. Yeah, so because, oh shit, I nearly killed myself there. Because I picked up that orb before, it has health in it instead. There's basically an invisible rectangle right about here. If you pass through it after... Okay, so the way it works, actually. There's a rectangle here. If you touch this rectangle, it puts a rectangle here. And if you pass through this rectangle after it exists, and you're not invisible, it summons a super boss. They did that specifically because it was too easy to get that hard at the start of every single new run. So it's like, let's put like a little bit of a condition on it. Sea of lava? Oh no. I'll just dump that down the chasm. I'm sure they'll appreciate that down there. They actually might. At the bottom of that chasm is the snowy biome. wanted to make the lava lake bigger. Oh, you should have said so. I would have rushed for it. Nothing. Double spell, nothing. None of these are incredible, so just for the spectacle, I'll take Luki Mutation. So now I have these legs. I can no longer levitate normally, but as long as at least one of my legs is in contact with the surface, I have functionally infinite levitation. I think of this one as a bit of a noob trap. Like, it's appealing, but in the long run, having like true levitation is usually better. That said, it's time for another break. Please use this time to refill your beverage, go to the bathroom, anything that would take you approximately 5 minutes. return. I hope you're back in time, because you gotta vote now. Before? Oh, thank you. I appear to have burst into flames. I am not used to the movement with these legs. Arigato. Intentional. More dynamite. Can't turn my nose up to more dynamite. Apologies. Fun fact, these leaky legs are part of a series of perks called spider perks. And if you get 3 or more spider perks, you turn into a spider. So if I see other spider perks, I will grab them. They all suck. Actually, some of them are really good. Like, in particular, Luki Minion is actually, like, a stealth MVP. Like, it puts in way more work than you think it does. That said, the legs are bad. I don't like the legs. Oh. This is a very nice holy mountain, actually. So, I really like long distance cast small teleport bolts. And the reason for that... Let's gamble. I got duplication and teleportitis. That's why we don't gamble. But yeah, by spawning the teleport bolt farther away, I can teleport through things, which is actually really nice. And kind of more in line with what you expect from a teleportation effect. That right there, that's why we hate the teleportitis. It's like, where am I now? I have no idea. Well, we hit the bottom. And we are tripping. Outpost is not incredible. It copies your projectiles, but that includes your teleport bolts. So, like, every now and then, like, you'll fire this, but then the ghost will copy it, and you'll end up, like, up here. Homunculus is also not incredible. You only get one every time you leave a holy mountain. They are very fragile, and if you get polymorphed, they recognize you as an enemy and kill you instantly. So I'll just take this field that makes enemies near me take damage, which is not spectacular, but it is something. I am very not equipped for Hisi base, so let's hope for like a Deus Ex Machina. It wasn't. Cool thing about Concentrated Light that makes it like my favorite spell aesthetically. Whoops. Anybody that you kill with Concentrated Light, their body ceases to exist. Well, we're done with Hisi base. Okay, this just got a lot better actually. You see an ad mana, you grab an ad mana. Like, no matter what. I would really like to find a Luminous Drill now. Let's do invisibility. As long as I'm not stained, I turn invisible. Just put that there for now. Oh. Yeah, I really don't have the damage that I need. Thank you for the shower. I've needed one of those for a while now. If you get like caught on fire or poisoned, you will teleport every single time it ticks. Teleport height is such a bad perk. Well, crap. That's not good. Hello? Ooh, wand. Never mind. Ooh, wand. Never mind. Ooh, holy mountain. Oh look, explosion immunity. Now I'm blind, and I'm going to be blind for the next 20 seconds. This is the worst. My health just got cut in half. I made it to the final holy mountain, which is called the laboratory. So all things considered, that worked out really well. A lot of these wands are very good. Ooh, melee immunity. So we make our way to the final boss. The final boss will not be upset unless I grab this thing. Yoink. If I attack it while this field... If I attack it while that field is up, it'll take control of my projectiles. And this is why we hate teleportitis. Well, that certainly all happened. Yeah, I think... Yeah, it's in the log now, I think. Yeah, it is. So yeah, thank you all for joining me tonight. Things did not go the way I hoped they would. Sometimes life is like that. Yes, have a wonderful night. I'm sorry for missing Christmas. I passed out. That said, however you chose to spend Christmas, I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope to see you again.